Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. What is going on, Chip? What's going on, everybody out there in the On the Chain community? You know who you are. You know that thing. Welcome, Bobby, Mike, Steve. Those are the top names up on the list there. What's going on? Today, we are going to deep dive into the XRP Ledger's smart features. That's right. XRP Ledger smart. The others maybe not so much, but we're going to talk about that. Institutional crypto adoption coming at a rapid pace. We're starting to see the markets coalesce, and we're going to cover some of those Trump victories. Every day's a victory. Every day's winning. Every day's good news. We got to get into that a lot more. So, Chip, if you're ready to kick this thing off.
Oh, and let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Welcome to On the Chain, everybody. Drop where you're coming in from. I already see Steve is already there. Lurkers, what's going on, everybody? Bobby Woodrum's in the house. People are just kind of coming in. Look who's back. El Jefe's here. Good to see that. Colin Hughes. It's all coming together. It's all coming together, fam. It's all coming together. It was so funny. I saw a post by Charlie Gasparino, and he put this long post about how we're now in a bull market. Or a bear market. We're a bear market now. I'm like, dude, just because Bitcoin dropped, because ETH shit the bed. Oh, we're not necessarily. It's temporary, man. Let's not get all. Let's get all. Why is everybody getting so crazy, Jeff? I don't understand why everyone's so crazy. It's like, let's just chill out. It's not going to be that
crazy. Bad. Jeff from Southwest Florida is back.
Jeff is back. Billionaire Faith. That's a great name. Billionaire Faith. I like that. Everybody needs a little billionaire faith. I'll start with thousandaire faith, and then I'll move gradually into millionaire faith, and then I'll kind of slide into billionaire faith. But I like it. Lloyd Mitchell says that I want to hear Trump talk today. Wow, hilarious. Yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, you can't keep up with it. Spark the run, please. Anytime. You can't keep up with all the winning. There's just too much winning going on. Someone said, remember, it's only been 37. I forget how many days it's been, but it's pretty early. Yeah, still in the first 90 days.
It's crazy. It's really amazing, and then to see that, Trump had his entire group there, like, everyone, all the key players, Elon Musk, giving his, talk on basically presenting what Doge is up to. Again, it's so funny because everything they, Trump does and Team Trump, they're always multiple moves ahead of everybody else. It's definitely a chess match. They're playing chess, and then the media, I don't even know what they're playing. They're not playing checkers. They're playing marbles or something. But they just don't get it. They're just so, off base. But this whole thing with the request for the emails, it's so amazing. I was looking at that, and then, Musk talks about it. He said it was all about looking for the dead people. People are collecting checks, and checks are going out, but they're not alive, so, you start sending those emails out, and all of a sudden they're, it's amazing. It's just cleanup time.
Not only that, Jeff, but Caroline Leavitt, who's the press secretary, she's 27 years old, and she may be the best press secretary ever. They always try to get through these gotcha questions. She brings receipts every time. Yep. I mean, she's so quick. She's so well spoken. For somebody, she might be one of the youngest, at least in my lifetime, that's held that position. And not to say that Sarah Huckabee wasn't fantastic, or what was the other one? Molini. What was her name?
McInerney.
McInerney. Yeah. She's on Fox now, and she was pretty strong. But you see, they were both pretty good. But Caroline Leavitt is like the best of both worlds. Like, she's just from another. And it's so funny because they're kind of like trying to knock it off. It's so different from the first time. Trump has the A team. He's got the people in there. Like, when did you ever hear clapping in a meeting? And of course, you remember when they used to pull the press in? We're going to have a staff. We're going to have all what do they call that meeting, Jeff, that they had today? What do they call it? I don't know what they call it. The cabinet meeting. I guess it's the meeting of the cabinet. It's basically Trump's cabinet.
You're talking about the cat, yeah.
Yeah. They call it. So before Biden would be in there, it'd be like the press would rush in there for the first 3 minutes. There'd be some pleasantries, and then they'd be out. They didn't get to actually hear what was going on. So the massive transparency that's going on, everyone's like, we don't understand Doge. We don't understand it. Meanwhile, there's about 15 or 20 X accounts that from each part of the department. There's a whole entire website that breaks down everything. Like, there couldn't be more transparency. It tells you everything that's going. And then I got nut jobs, saying, well, what about, look at this airliner almost crashed. There was another airliner came on the thing, and I'm like, well, just let's look at the NTSB. If you look at the NTSB, you can actually see that there were more accidents. I mean, it's incredibly crazy to me. If you look at how much spending, I mean, and then I find out today that we've been funding the Taliban, funding all these terrorist organizations, sending them money. I mean, and anybody who's yelling about this, I'm sorry, man. This is taking it right out of the American taxpayers' pocketbooks. And when you think about it, it doesn't matter what country you live in. You got the same kind of, you're being ripped off the same exact way. Everybody needs a Doge, right? And what I like about it is people can bitch all they want about Elon Musk. Whether you like him, you hate him, you think he's good, you don't think he's good. He's an outsider. And the biggest complaint from Democrats with all of the people who are in these cabinet positions, they don't have the right experience. Well, what is that? 40 years in government? That's the experience we're not looking for. We're not looking for somebody to come in and push the button. Did you push the button today? I pushed it. Did you push it yesterday? I don't know if I pushed it yesterday. What about 3 days ago? Yeah, I think I pushed the button. Did you move this piece of paper from this part of the desk to that part? Oh, I did that. We're not looking for that. We're looking for an outsider to come in, take a torch. Yeah, like Elon Musk said today, sometimes you make mistakes. That happens.
Right.
What are you gonna do? Jump into it. Let's jump into the new stuff. I thought this was pretty funny. I don't see this kind of humor sometimes coming out of Ripple, but maybe it's not that funny. But Bloomberg Crypto put up a story that said PayPal plans to integrate its stablecoin into more of its products this year in an effort to address all of its merchants' needs through a single platform. Okay, another stablecoin story. And then Monica Long chimes in. She's like, that sounds familiar. So a little bit funny there, because they're doing the same thing. They're integrating it to more of their products this year. It's going to be across the board. Monica Long is the president of Ripple, but I thought this was sometimes it's just a 2-word post on X. Sounds familiar. I don't know. I thought that was pretty funny. I don't know if that, maybe you didn't catch the humor there, but she's like, yeah, that sounds familiar. Sounds like somebody else we know. Ripple's doing the same thing.
Right. Everyone wants to integrate the PayPal or the stable coin. It's really good.
And Bank of America came out and said it's inevitable to do a stable coin. So then everybody started going, is Bank of America going to create its own stable coin? I mean, they could. I don't know if a bank is in the business of creating stable coins, because then they got to back it with something. So they're already running pretty much, pretty hot as it is. They don't have the funds to necessarily cover. And if you don't realize how loans work, they can't cover. So I don't know if it's a bank's responsibility to run that. Would they start utilizing them? Probably, but I don't necessarily see if I see that. Ripple said today we're partnering with BDAX to expand institutional crypto custody in South Korea. Jeff, South Korea is so advanced. Did we learn when we went to Australia last year that like 7 out of 10 people own XRP?
It was that was really impressive to see their overall engagement in crypto, investment in crypto, understanding of crypto. Way far ahead compared to where we're at here. I always look at kind of those Asian markets, whether it's in Japan or in South Korea. They always seem to be a few steps ahead when it comes to tech or more tech implementation. Which is always really impressive. I can remember years ago, way before people had handheld scanners, way before scanners were really a thing. I remember running into a student that was from Japan and highlighting parts of the book, and it was translating it directly into Japanese on one of these scanner pens. I don't know if you remember those scanner pens.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, I used to have one, and you'd go through and you'd scan whatever it was. Then you could download everything into your computer, open it up in a Word doc, and organize your notes and stuff. But this was probably back in I don't know, maybe 92, 91.
Wow, that's a long time ago. Oh, that was a lot.
Yeah, what's that? I don't think so either.
I don't remember that. Yeah. It's not that I wasn't there; it's just that I don't remember it. Not saying I wasn't around.
But the point, is that was coming out of, a student from Japan at the time. So with South Korea, I'd kind of anticipate, to see what they're doing, with this developer growth over there. And that's the big part, is institutional adoption, development, building, and the evolution of blockchain and crypto has to go. It's the inevitable. If we go stagnant and we don't see development and we're not growing, we're not expanding, we're not focusing on that evolution on the next step, then we stay stagnant. And so, for so many in the community, even in the XRP community, Chip, where they're not understanding, they think it's all about speculation, investment, and Ripple's utility of XRP, where it's really about how much further can you go with the XRPL? How can you get the XRPL involved in development, growth, and integration? At what point, what level does XRP get involved in it? But then the focus and attention comes to the XRPL, comes to XRP, similar to how Ethereum developed. You have the ERC-20s, and that's the core source of smart contracts until now, where there's better solution. But you can't be stuck in a speculative, environment. Otherwise, then what happens? Eventually it dies out.
Yeah, it's not the place you want to live. You want to live with development and keep up with the news. BDAX Korea will use Ripple custody to provide secure infrastructure for XRP. The Ripple USD, their stablecoin, and other crypto assets supporting institutional adoption, XRPL developer growth, and Korea's evolving regulatory landscape, South Korea, I should say. A major step in advancing the on-chain economy in the region.
That's right.
Yep. And then they had this article here where they talked about the strategic partnership, and they're a custody solution, but they're basically they're going to use Ripple's custody, which is great, right? This is fantastic. Aligns with the Financial Services Commission, FSC, recently announced roadmap for regulatory approval of institutional participation in digital market assets. So by providing secure XRP and Ripple USD custody services for institutional venture, partnership will support the growth of XRP developers, the ecosystem. It's a good move, and it's great to see. I would like to see more of that over here in the United States, or at least over here in Europe, or maybe in Australia. Like, I'd like to see some of that same type of activity. But Asia, it really is strong. South Korea, Japan. It's incredible to see what's happening. Banks rolling out a crypto. This is another story from Ripple. Banks rolling out a crypto trading and custody services for institutions, also built on Ripple custody. A clear sign of growing demand for institutional grade custody solutions. And this was the acquisition they made not too long ago, and it made so much sense. But now you're starting to see how that pays off, right? Bullish news right there for XRP holders for sure. There they are. Get on the train. Let's go. It really is something pretty cool, Jeff, when you think about it. Love it. Kids, they agree that it's good. The bank has over 370 billion euros in assets under management. It's emphasizing security and regulatory compliance. And we're more of this stuff because, again, this is another profit point for Ripple, right? They custody your assets. They don't do it for free. So it's just another. People are like, oh, they only do cross-border payments. Well, no, they do. They do a lot more than that. And when tokenization comes along, again, it's going to expand even more. Major German financial institution, Bank, launched cryptocurrency trading and custody services. Again, Jeff, here we go. We have South Korea. We have Germany. We're starting to make our way back. But when are we going to start hearing about more American stories now that we got a new sheriff in town?
Well, I think, they're redoing the SEC. They're canceling out all the big lawsuits. They're putting everything in order from a legal perspective. We've already seen a few executive orders, signed in relation to normalizing crypto, at least establishing a path towards normalization of crypto and blockchain. So I think we're going through the motions right now. Look at what Elon Musk is doing by getting rid of all the fat. So we got to get rid of the fat, got to get rid of the fat within the agencies, got to get rid of the fat in the SEC agency. And Elon Musk had said it. They questioned, can we just shrink some of these entities, no. If you think about it like a weed, you got to kill not just the weed, but you got to tear it out by the roots. If you leave the roots, it grows back, right? And it becomes corrupted again because they've so implanted their roots into the corruptive nature of everything. They're so sunken deep with all the pathways of filtering money, which is, again, going back to the reason for the emails. Find the dead, at least start cutting them off at the knees for their funding sources. They cut the major one out. That was the USAID. They took that one out immediately. And, now they're drying up. These guys don't have huge, sources of free cash flow. And that's already having an impact on them. Now they got to go after all of their sources. They've obviously got backup sources of cash flow. Start cutting them out, then start deregulating, and then boom, crypto finds its path. Plus, you got to think about IRS and the Federal Reserve.
Two things that have to go away. That's a must. That's not even a maybe. It has to happen. They're going away. And in Florida here, they're talking about getting rid of property taxes. Yes, last night, there was a historic announcement by Byron Donalds, congressman here, who said he is officially running for governor. He will make an excellent governor.
Awesome. Yep.
Here comes a two-term governor. And they asked him too, do you support the eliminating property taxes? He said, I do, just we got to figure out other ways for like fire and trash removal and some city functions to get paid for. Like, so there could be maybe potentially like a minimum that you might have to contribute to, because I mean, you need some kind of government, you need something. But again, you're basically cutting out the fat. How many of those jobs exist that don't do anything, right? That are just, I mean, think about it, Jeff. Look at the property taxes in Florida. They've gone up so much. It's insanely high how much you have to pay.
Property tax, homeowners insurance, car insurance. Those are your three biggest expenses.
Huge. They dwarf your
out of control
mortgage payment these days because, and it's so funny. It's like if you live in Broward County, like I think you pay more than Palm Beach County, which is backwards. You think it'd be the other way around, but I think there's more stolen vehicles down there. I think Miami-Dade is even worse. So you have, you have all these, cars being stolen or whatever, but it's outrageous how much you have to pay for car insurance. It used to be $150. It was like $200, two cars, you get $250. Now it's a crazy amount of money. $900 for two cars, $950 plus.
Yeah.
And you never get to cash in on it, right? You never actually get because you're a safe driver, you never really take advantage. And also too, I mean, as a result, a lot of houses went on the market. So the property value started dropping because the property taxes are so high. People are trying to get out of Florida. And I think this will somehow fix it. We'll be in a good place. Here's another story, Jeff. We got this one last week. This is funny how Ripple marketing people are taking advantage of that breach last week. $1.4 billion was lost in a security breach. Secure and compliant crypto security. It's not a nice to have. It's a necessity. Learn how Ripple Custody provides institutional grade security built on trust and resilience. And Jeff, this is something we've talked about for a while here. Dude, nobody wants to get a thumb drive out with putting a password in and then punching a thing in. It's too complicated, man.
That's right. Yep.
And Stefan Thomas, you like the old CI, he was the old chief tech officer from Ripple. Guy's brilliant. There's no doubt about it. He ended up having a cold storage wallet that he only had 10 tries and it bricked. Well, it bricked to the tune of over $500 million worth of Bitcoin. Now, nobody wants to deal with that on your head. Nobody wants to be like that guy that says, oops, I made a mistake. I lost it. Oh, I bought it 4 or 5 years ago. I don't know where my seed phrase anymore. Oh, it did stop working. Where's your seed phrase? I don't know.
Lost it.
People can't deal with this stuff. So this institutional grade is one thing, but I want to have consumer grade, which has the same as institutional grade. But that would be the next logical service for a Ripple to roll out, would be a consumer. And the banks, say what you will about banks. It's why I said that banks, if they were using like a Ripple solution, like even Bank of America, Chase, Citi, you name the bank, if they were using an institutional grade, and people like, they had one account and they click, how you have multiple accounts at the bank and you log in, you go, oh, there's my other account. And my crypto account, you just purchase crypto and then it's in the account. You're done. They can hook up to an exchange. They charge you a fee and you store your crypto there and it's backed, and it's protected. Like you can get insurance on it. it's just crazy though. Like, this is one of the big stoppers why people aren't jumping into crypto. When you start telling
Yep.
Jeff, even though remember the ones where like, I don't have a Zombie wallet. Well, it's simple. You get a Zombie wallet, then what do I do? Well, then you go to an exchange, you buy crypto, then what do I do? Well, then you send the XRP over to the Zombie wallet, then what do I do? Well, then you got to log into XRP.cafe to get the Yeti. Well, then what do I do? It's like, no, it's not simple. If you've done it, it's simple. But for new people, it's a turnoff, man.
Yeah. Well, it's hard for, mainstream adoption, and I think that's the biggest thing. Simplification is everything. So, people like their banks, people like the environment, people, like Venmo or whatever. Well, I've never used it, but whatever the, kids like, people like Zelle. Zelle's easy,
Use it all
right?
the
You have
time.
someone's phone number, boom, you send Zelle. And once you make the connection, it should be that easy with crypto. With Zamet, once you have somebody's, once you get their address, you can send, but then it's still, look how long the address is, and then you copy it. Did you miss a letter? Did you copy the whole thing? Can I see it? Can I look at 80,000 letters and numbers and try to figure out exactly if your number is accurate or not accurate? Is that an O or is that a 0? I don't know. I don't know which one it is.
Too
I
complicated.
can't figure it out. Is that an L or is that a 1? Or is that an I? Like, what exactly did we type in there? I can't figure it out. Yeah, and that's the confusion of it all. It's got to go to simplification, got to have security, got to have clarity, got to make it, so that mainstream adoption can happen. The closest to actual mainstream adoption, which is simple, is Coinbase. Like Coinbase, by far, you go there, connect your bank account, boom, you're buying crypto. Sell it, put it back in your bank account. That's the platform. It's like E-Trade or anything else. It's the same process. It's a simplified methodology.
Not
So,
your Jeff.
yeah. So, the thing is, I'd use the thumb drives. Thumb drive's great. And then every time you put it in, you're like, oh shit, I hope it works. And so I always have backups, with the ledger. Screw it. Now it's just a matter, just diversify across multiple platforms. I mean, you could get burned also. You can get burned by losing it. You can get burned on some of the platforms. Bybit got hit. If you use, some of these Coinbase is publicly traded. Uphold is got, tight security. BitTrue had, they were self-insured, but I think they started doing third-party audits. Those are the signs back in, the golden, not the golden age, but the wild west of crypto, which I think we're still in. Maybe like, what period would it have been? A couple of years ago, when they're self-insured, and then Celsius, and then you see the crash of FTX and the issues of Binance and all sorts of chaos. Yeah, 5.25-inch floppies. That's probably where we need to go back to, actually.
Those are like the ones you could bend. He doesn't even use the little plastic 3.5 ones.
Those
Jeff.
are the best.
Those were the big old things where you like
that's pre 3.5. Yep.
Sprinkled and bent. Then there's like the little metal door on it.
What were they, like 1.5 meg or like 800K?
Something ridiculous.
What did it hold?
Reborn John. That's not going to get it done yet. Being cute.
Those are the best. I had a Commodore 64 with one of those 5.25-inch floppy
Phoenix Starboard. Need clarity, security, and ease of use. That's it.
That's it. That's all you need.
That's all you need. That's as simple as it is. And secure digital custody is necessary, but also one needs to easily access their crypto to sell, send, swap.
Yep.
So, if you paired up the, decentralized exchange with a bank, maybe some nominal fees, whatever, there you go. Just hook it up. Like, you should be able to go to any bank and choose your, DEX that you want, and then be able to do exactly that. If you want to send it, swap it, whatever. We have to get there. I think we will probably get closer to it, but the way it is right now, I don't know. I sort of wonder. And so here they talk about the global custody service market expected to grow from 41 billion in 23 to more than 100 billion. Think about that, 100 billion in 2033. I actually think that's probably smaller. If you think 100 billion is not that much, I don't know. That to me seems like a small number to me. I could see 1 trillion by 20.
It's only going to double, in 10 years. It's going to take 10 years to double. Come on.
That's a very, very conservative number, you know.
That's a
Talk about
ridiculously
a
conservative
whole
number.
it basically wrote a whole article on, you know, the
Who wrote that article?
this is Ripple. How custodians can meet institutional custody needs, but again, we need something for, you know, issuance of custody, tokenized securities, real world assets, and cryptocurrency and trading wallets for institutional retail investors. Robust compliance controls and advanced. We all need this for great for the institution, but we also need this for, you know, consumer grade as well. Mayuka Vadari put this out. She said, "I'm excited to share Ripple X Devs extensibility team's proposed vision for the XRP ledger's programmability. Today's announcement includes a blog post detailing our vision in 2 specs."
What
There it
thread?
is right there. I'll click on that. And we, the RX extensibility team, envision programmability on the XRPL as the glue that seamlessly connects its powerful native building blocks with the flexibility of custom on-chain business logic. This vision focuses on preserving what makes the XRPL special: its efficiency, reliability, and simplicity, while empowering builders to unlock new possibilities. So instead of diving headfirst into the shallow end, like I always say, which is bad, complex into headfirst into a complex smart contract protocol spec, we want to take baby steps. And as David Schwartz put it, the first initiative: extensions or smart features. So an extension, it's a small piece of code attached to the XRPL building block, which allows users to add what did I lose that?
To add some custom logic to the existing primitives.
That's
There you
existing
go.
primitives. Yep. This can be very useful for projects that like the existing features of the XRPL, but need a minor modification to a feature to be able to use it. Feature plus extension equals smart feature. So
I like it.
This is smart. This is good. One of the XRPL's biggest strengths lies with its foundational building blocks, the primitive, like tokens, escrows, and like the decentralized exchange, which offer a secure, robust native functionality. Smart features allow us to lean into these strengths by enhancing what already exists, rather than
I like the smart escrows, and that's awesome.
See, it's kind of interesting the way they're approaching it. They're sort of taking a step back. Like, instead of smart contract, they're making functionality, and then it can sort of move into that. And so by leveraging the existing toolkit of the XRPL, we can unlock powerful new capabilities, all the while maintaining the simplicity and efficiency of the network that it's known for. Smart escrows, first extension. This is the one you like, Jeff. Why don't you take this one?
Which one is that? Smart escrows, the first extension. That makes a lot of sense. Allows developers to write their own custom escrow release conditions without rebuilding the entire escrow primitive in a smart contract. You know, that it's really smart, you know, from a B2B perspective, you know, the functionality, institution, you know, this is all business institution driven. You know, I'm always going to say the B2C market, it's not interesting yet. At some point it'll be interesting. We have credit cards. Don't kid yourself that you think you have to spend crypto and run around and figure out a solution. Nobody's trying to figure out a real solution on how you're going to spend your crypto yet. You know, I don't think the B2C consumer market is where it's at. It's all about institutions. It's all about banks. It's all about B2B. That's where they have to be, because that's where the problem is. There's no problem right now in the consumer market other than on the business side. The problem with the business selling to the consumer is that when you use your credit card, the business gets jacked for 3.5%. So they got to figure out how to offset that, turn that around and charge it somehow back to the consumer. In a business environment, and sometimes in the retail environment, you want to use it for a big purchase. Guess what? You, the purchaser, you're paying the 3.5%. That still gets added on. So the seller is still paying 1%. That's the problem. That's the problem in credit cards right now. But from an institutional perspective, financial perspective, if you start cutting the fat, cutting out the middleman, make it more compliant, make it more streamlined from an institutional perspective, and streamline the movement and recording of the functionality, all of a sudden credit card prices are going to come down, because a credit card company is going to have to employ a quarter of the employees. They can get rid of most of them because everything's going to be on the ledger. You're not going to need all these bean counters, trying to figure things out. whereas right now they have to, run around and figure all these details out. So if you can cut the fat and all of a sudden you're streamlined, now all of a sudden maybe your rates are 0.5% or maybe 1.5%, 1%. It becomes a little bit more tolerable from a consumer's perspective on moving money. But that's where the problem is. So once they figure that aspect of it out, now all of a sudden they start going into the tokenization and beyond. But escrow is the beginning steps. And I'm glad, they see that kind of as the first extension. That's probably the key behind all the smart contracts. You got to establish trust. You got to put and, establish, that movement of money and making sure that, you're creating a dynamic environment for both parties. So I think that's kind of where it's at.
This is like
I love it. I really like it.
Things that happen with developments, and it felt like it just was like when I was reading this earlier, I was like, man, this is like it seems like you should get more presence. We don't see smart features and smart contracts as mutually exclusive. It's another interesting take.
Yeah.
So therefore, we've published a smart contract spec outlining our ideas for how we can bring the smart contracts that everybody knows and loves to the XRPL in a way that makes sense for how the XRPL is designed. So this kind of thought leadership right here, Jeff, is very interesting for the fact that instead of trying to go where the crowd is going, smart contracts, smart contracts, we got to all do smart contracts, right? Smart contracts came out years ago, but smart contracts don't cover it all. So I like kind of taking a few steps back, talking about features, talking about, how the smart features will work with smart contracts in the, in the future, and then really how it really works and it's designed around the XRPL makes a lot more sense to me. I think this is great. So starting with smart escrows instead of going straight to smart contracts allows us to test out the VM integration with a much smaller feature so that it's easier to protect against unforeseen errors, and any issues will be much smaller and way more limited. The community feedback's been instrumental in shaping the vision. Developers across a broad variety of projects have shared valuable insights that have helped refine the approach to the XRPL programmability. And this collaborative process continues as we all work together to create the best path forward. So if you're interested in being more involved in the development process, please reach out. So this is kind of another turn of events too. It used to be that Ripple would sort of kind of do their thing and announce it. And what you're seeing is that a lot more reaching out to community. There's a lot more projects around today. And so a lot of this was shaped not only by the thought leadership going on, Mayuka and her team, but also other teams inside of Ripple thinking about a broader. I like the way it's more thought leadership. Hey, we're not going to run with the crowd. We're going to try to figure some things out, create how these features are going to work, and then figure out how they're going to integrate. And with the smart escrows makes a lot of sense. I mean, Flare took this approach. People are like, how come Flare's not out? How come this and that? How come Songbird? And how come? Well, yeah, they wanted to try to break the network. Can you imagine how catastrophic it would have been for them to have launched and got hacked? So they launched Songbird to be able, as a token, to be able to see, go ahead, try to break it, right? See what you can, see what you can do. And they proved that, hey, taking your time is the right measure, not trying to rush it out. I love the idea of the smart escrow. This could turn into something really cool, Jeff.
I think so too. I think they're moving in the right direction. They're solidifying, the programmability of the project to make it into a real world asset, real world network, to where we're going to see, I believe, we'll see, major expansion in a short period of time. I really think they're onto something. I think we need to reach out to them and get involved in their development, because we have all sorts of amazing ideas when it comes to institution and B2B, that could be incorporated into what they're doing. Maybe they thought about it, maybe they didn't. I think they're so hyper focused on big institution, but now, based on that, they're bringing it back a little, which is very cool. Very impressive.
I wish we had time to go through this here. We're not going to go through it. I'll just show you, but she really outlines it here. The proposed vision for the XRP programmability, talks about where they've been. It goes into, talking a little more about extensions, making features smarter, talks about what is an extension, kind of what we talked about. She narrowed it down, but there's some really good stuff here, especially on the smart escrows. So if you think about use cases, something we didn't cover, free escrow, certain amount can unlock it up. Credential-based escrow, where you have an escrow can only be released if the recipient received a certain credential or an NFT.
I like it. Yep.
Cascading type of escrows. This is think about more along into like real estate. An escrow can't be unlocked unless the previous one has. Trust swap. One escrow can't be unlocked. The one has been created.
Yes.
about options. One escrow can't be unlocked unless a price oracle shows the price at a token or a certain value. To me, Jeff, this is
Great.
taken, and it's not smart contracts, but it's a precursor to something potentially far more powerful, bigger, more encompassing. Because you're I see your business hats on, and you're thinking about the business side of the house of what would trigger a smart contract could trigger something with one of these type of use cases here.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. And, the XRP fanboys won't get it. They're going to focus on the speculative nature of the growth of XRP. This is where it's at. What they're about to do and what they're doing. This is why the XRPL stands out amongst all the other chains, is because it can be upgraded. They can go through development. This is what the real world living, breathing, document of true software application. You can't stay stagnant. You can't keep branching off and creating a whole new lineage. That doesn't work. You have to be able to keep growing, adapting, looking at where the market's at, and address it. And that's exactly the XRPL from day one was built with all this amazing technology. They just didn't figure out how to use it. They're sitting on they're sitting on a gold mine, but yet they didn't have the shovels. They had those little tiny shovels, you get, when you go to the beach. That's what they had, and then they're sitting on this big mound of gold, covered up with sand, and they're over on the beach trying to, dig it. And then they reach a layer of, rock, and oh shit, we can't get through. But, now it's amazing, to start tapping into this. It's just super, super impressive. I can't say enough about the direction of what this is going to mean for growth and how things are going to shift and change in a rapid pace. It's very cool.
They're not following the crowd, and like this, and so this is kind of what's missing from the kind of the summary part of the X posts. But I will say like this: so when you think about smart feature ideas, look, smart AMMs could allow AMMs to have custom trading curves, smart accounts. Incorporate the XLS 86D firewall and XLS 76D mini coming amount, potentially allow additional WSM modes to protect accounts. You can get into so many features that make sense. Smart tokens could allow users to perform additional regulatory checks on user transfers. This is, like you said, Jeff, all B2B type applications, but very necessary. Smart batch transactions could allow users to implement custom and or tree logic for their transactions. This stuff is what's missing right now. That's why I think it's just huge. I don't think it's getting the attention out there. Man, I almost went by it myself. I started reading. I'm like, whoa, this is exciting stuff. And you really don't see much conversation about it. But I got to say that I'm glad that they're taking the approach here. I love to see this. They're talking about smart contracts and going on some integration sample use cases. You can integrate with a new bridging protocol, a new DeFi protocol, think derivatives or perpetuals, and issue token staking rewards. So the design, they say that the design for their smart contracts combines an easy to learn overall design of EVM smart contracts, addresses, and functions with the familiarity of the XRPL transactions. They're doing something that makes sense on the XRPL. They're putting a lot of thought behind it, and it's pretty exciting. I'm excited about this. Probably one of the things I've seen out of Ripple probably in the last couple of years.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that the Wave of Innovation 2025 Gold Coast, I hope that their Ripple has somebody there that's actually talking about, what these mean and what's going on with this.
Ripple will be there. Yeah, Ripple's a major sponsor.
That's right.
Jeff, in 2 weeks we'll be in Cape Canaveral. We will be at
Cape Canaveral. Where we're going. What is it?
Summit. We're looking forward to, I know at least one of you said you're going to be there. Charles, I don't know if you're coming down from the Berg to come hang out with us, but that'd be cool. But we're going to be there.
Is Rob going to be there?
I don't think Rob's coming.
Rob McDermott, are you coming?
Are you coming to Cape Canaveral, dude? It's a long trip.
Cape Canaveral. Yeah, but it's worth it. It's shorter than Australia.
Well, yeah, it is shorter than Australia. You going to Australia?
Rob said he's going to Australia.
Bin Chicken going? Are you in Bin Chicken going again?
Taking the Bin Chicken.
The Bin Chicken, man. I go back and look at those pictures and I laugh my ass off. It's such good stuff. Man, is it good stuff. Holy cow.
Rob, are you going? Come on. You got to go to Cape Canaveral. You can't make it to the Space Coast.
What about Australia, though?
Uh,
What about the Gold Coast? Can you make it to the Gold Coast?
can you believe that? Can you
Guys,
believe that?
I always said, Jeff, if you were doing a meetup somewhere in Florida, I would definitely go. I'm like, well, we're getting doing the meetup. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We'll talk about it a little bit more. I understand that, but we want to know if you're doing Australia. Ben just got back from a week in
In
Vegas.
Vegas.
Dude, he was just in Cozumel or something. Wasn't he just in Mexico?
That's what I thought too.
Sting out. He was in Mexico. So I don't know what happened.
Thank you, and good night.
On the time of his life. XRP's going the wrong way for me coming. I'll be in Turkey next week. All right, well, that's fine. You'll have to, if it does go the other way, then you'll have to do it.
That's right.
Exactly, right on. I can't believe he's traveling all over without his best bud. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense.
Man.
Alexander Grieve. What are you going to say? Grieve. Paradigm met last week. Hester Purse's SEC crypto task force. Specifically discuss airdrops and how the SECs think about them. You know how they should think about them? They shouldn't think about them, Jeff, because the SEC will have nothing to do with it. Who get so tired of them talking about what the SEC? Gary Gensler, the loser, programmed infected everyone's brain with this virus about what should the and then the new people came on and they're like, we're the crypto task force. Come on in and register. They started the same BS. Come on and register bullshit. No, we don't care. You know how they should think about it? They shouldn't think about it because the CFTC is the agency that thinks about it. So once when Congress figures out the digital assets themselves, correct. So he kind of is hinting there that, once they get their act together, for now, the SEC can exemplary guidance. But guidance on what? There is no guidance. It's like, the Congress doesn't know, but maybe we'll ask the smarter people who used to love regulation by enforcement. We'll ask them and see, because there's better people now, Jeff. They're smarter. They like crypto. They're going to be much better. That's so ridiculous. Ondo Finance. I want to video
talk about Ondo before. What's going on with Ondo now?
So, Nathan Lallman asked Ripple's CTO, David Schwartz, what he thought about crypto's most compelling use case. So I'll pull that video up here that I have.
They forgot the in on chain.
The on the chain.
Yeah, that's right.
You mean on the chain? On chain, Jeff.
That's on chain.
That's so wrong. So here's what he thinks here.
I think we're going to have to turn the corner to institutional adoption and towards retail adoption with use cases that actually have real world utility and aren't just completely speculative. And that's going to mean access to the real world financial system.
I was just going to say this. No, you and I, neither one of us looked at this, but I swear to God, we did not look at this, but that sounds, to quote Monica Long, that sounds familiar.
That sounds very familiar.
I was like, this is we just did the whole show on this thing. Then he's like, and
confirmation, Chip.
I didn't even watch this clip. This is great.
I think we're going to have to turn the corner to institutional adoption and towards retail adoption with use cases that actually have real world utility and aren't just completely speculative. And that's going to mean access to the real world financial system and assets in the real world. So real world asset tokenization is the big one.
Boom!
There you go. Kids absolutely, they just love it and adore it.
They love it.
The drunk guy loves it too. I love that.
He definitely. Drunk guy always loves it.
Drunk guy loves everything. Yeah.
Colin is saying, I would like to win either a Trump gold card or a badass Yeti. Well, if you type in Yeti, which is the word of the day,
$5 million.
And when we do a drawing, I forgot to pick. We're giving away a blue badass Yetis from the Blue Tribe.
Which one, Jeff? Which one? You didn't even put it up there or anything. We don't know which one you're talking about.
It's secretive.
I know. Yeah, we have
it's
no
under
idea.
wraps. Let's see. Which one are we going to give away today? Man, we got so many cool ones to choose from. You know what? I think we're going to give away a Mentalist. I think number 400.
Not my favorite.
The Mentalist. Let me see.
Mentalists are the best. They've got some
Mentalists.
Big ass heads.
I'm gonna save that one. Ooh, that one's pretty cool too. Let me see. I like this one. This guy looks kick ass. Hang on a minute.
Let's see it, man.
Look at that guy.
Click
on
looks
badass.
There you go. Look at that.
Look at that guy.
Fantastic.
I love that guy. We haven't seen these guys, these mentalists. We have a whole bunch of mentalists to give away. So that guy, man, I'm excited. I'm excited for whoever gets that one. I
It's
love the blue tribe.
Yeah, it would make a really nice, a fantastic, what do you call it?
That on a t-shirt.
Well, anything. I mean, it looks fantastic. I mean, it's just terrific. Yeah.
looks like me when I had hair.
Damn. So Jeff,
The blue Yeti is not a Democrat. No.
no. Just because he's blue doesn't mean anything. Don't get it twisted, man. It's not what you think it is. Stream Deck effect.
Stream Deck effects.
Stream Deck.
Right.
Are we on Stream Deck? No. We don't have Stream Deck built in here, but yeah, I know
Stream Deck. But it sounds that way.
All right. Yeah.
Boom!
It's just a soundboard. A soundboard.
Holy shit. Like, let's not do that. That's a bad idea.
Dude, why do we have so much echo? What's going on?
That one echoed from the beginning.
That was weird.
That was a little weird.
That though. Originally. So, Jeff, this is a very bad idea. This is where we've gone. People want to think we have short memories, like we don't remember. So CNN's fake tapper, who covered up Biden's mental decline, is now releasing a new book called Original Sin, which covers the cover-up of his mental decline.
Well, that's an easy one for him.
Like committing a crime and then investigating yourself for the crime. Fake tapper, who apparently couldn't see Biden's obvious mental decline, will dive deep into the Biden family and aides, how he covered up his decline. Biden, the family, and the senior aides were so convinced that only he could beat Trump again, so they lied to themselves, allies, the public about his conditions and limitations. But here we have fake tapper. Listen to this conversation with Lara Trump. Okay, now. Do you think that we're not going to uncover this while he's going on his book tour because he's going to investigate the? This is just one of the times that fake tapper had this to say.
It makes little kids with stutters feel when they see you make a comment like that?
First and foremost, I had no idea that Joe Biden ever suffered from a stutter. I think what we see on stage with Joe Biden, Jake, is very clearly a cognitive decline.
Okay.
That's what I'm referring to. It makes me uncomfortable.
You are
to
no.
watch somebody on stage
This is so amazing. It's so amazing to me that
try and figure out an answer.
A cognitive decline.
Well, when you're trying to tell me that what I was suggesting was
I think that you were mocking his stutter.
Yeah,
I think you were mocking his stutter, and I think you have absolutely no standing to diagnose somebody's cognitive decline. I would think that some.
But don't worry, Jake, in a few years, you'll be able to write a book about it and you'll be a hero.
Somebody in the Trump family would be more sensitive to people who do not have medical licenses diagnosing politicians from afar.
He was diagnosing COVID.
Well, yeah, he was diagnosing all kinds of things that suited him. But listen, he doesn't even let her talk. He's talking over her about like how he's a moron.
If people have diagnosed your father from afar, and I'm sure it offends you, your father-in-law from afar, I'm sure it offends you. You don't have any standing to say.
I'm not diagnosing him. What I'm saying, Jake,
you just talked about a cognitive decline.
That Joe Biden
I have one last
struggling
question for you, Laura. You can't
times on stage, and it's very concerning to a lot of people that this could be the leader of the free world.
Okay.
That is all I'm saying. I genuinely feel sorry for Joe Biden.
I appreciate it. I'm sure
he's so smug. He's such a squadouche. He says, "Yeah, thank you. Okay, great. We're gonna go." He wrote a book called "The Original Sin" about how they covered it up. Well, the media covered up. Jake, you were complicit in this cover up. You're in this whole interview. You're like nonstop. Oh, cognitive decline. Okay, I see. It's incredible, Jeff. It really is some kind of a next level kind of bullshit, right? If you think about it. Holy cow! What is wrong with these people?
They're trying to convince everybody. Yeah, it's really funny to watch.
You know, every once in a while you'll see something that you missed, and it probably was from a couple years ago when the lawsuit was going on. But this is a meme that was made about Stu Alderati and Brad Garlinghouse, and I thought it was so well executed and so good. How did I miss it? I don't know. Maybe you guys remember seeing this, but here it is.
Maybe we should just give up, Brad.
Oh.
jacket. Pulled out.
Oh yeah.
Pulls out the bird.
Fucker. I didn't care.
That is so well done.
That's very cool.
It's really well done. Do you remember seeing that, Jeff?
I don't.
Seeing that. Does
I don't think
anybody in the
remember it all.
stage 4 dementia is now called stuttering? Well, he invented a new story. Like he invented a story that he used to stutter when he was a kid, and you see, I don't even know. Like this first time he ever heard about it, he told
Make everything up.
stories about where he used to be and what he did, and none of them were true. Corn Pop maybe was true. I don't know. It's hard to remember the Corn Pop story. Corn Pop was a bad
Corn Pop.
Corn Pop was a bad dude, man. Corn Pop was a really bad dude. So Joy Reid lost her show. So it's so funny. Once the USAID ended, it cut off all the slush funds to all of these I guess we call them media shows, and all of a sudden they started dropping like flies. But listen to this. So this is listen to this woman here talk about Joy Reid. This is another reason Joy Reid lost her show, and I can't believe she was even on the air. But look at this.
Remember when Joy Reid said this?
Yeah, the question I'm asking is, what is the expertise that you have and other Moms for Liberty advocates have to decide that a book, an award-winning book like All Boys Aren't Blue, isn't appropriate for students to read? What is your expertise?
What a tragic story of a young man who's anal raped by his adult family member. So you have incest, rape, pedophilia. In what context is a strap-on acceptable for public school? That's my question to you. Tell me what the context around the strap-on or the rape of a minor child by a teacher.
Hold on a second.
You're asking me to remember the name of an author.
You just remembered very specific names.
Dildo, rape of a minor, anal. Okay, so this is all the things that happened in this supposed award-winning book that Joy Reid is defending, and is a Moms for Liberty, which is saying like we don't need this in the school. And if you really wanted your kid to have it, you can just probably get it off of Amazon. I'm sure it's plentiful over on Amazon.
Here's my question.
We're talking about strap. You didn't answer my question.
No. What I'm saying to you is that as you are not an expert in this book,
I don't have to be an expert to know that those aren't appropriate for public school. I mean, come on, let's get real.
This is a full context story, as you said, of the author's experience. Why is it your right or a Moms for Liberty activist's right to say that a parent who wants their child to have access to this book, which gives a personal experience of this author, why doesn't a liberal parent, for instance, or a parent of an LGBTQ kid, why don't they have a right for their child to just have access to this book? Why is it your right to say they can't?
So again, we're talking about rape
and each parent, each.
This is insane, Jeff. Can you imagine having a conversation like that? That they want your parent has access to the book. Great, buy the kid the book. Buy the kid the book. I mean, this is the kind of stuff we're defending now. I thought all that. I said, well, yeah, I'd never seen that bit, but my God, that's something. Rob McDermott, idiot. I hope Joy follows Lemon's lead and goes to get destroyed every day she opens her mouth and break the idiot meter. Very well said. Very well said.
Make that happen.
Scrag.
Make it happen fast.
Age. Holy shit, a cat fight. Yeah, that was something, huh? The woman has SFB. Wow. Joy tonight, creamy at Walmart. That could happen. This could happen. I think this would be a must. We got to play this here. This is Paul Grewal on Fox News talking about the Coinbase suit.
This is now in the clear from this misguided lawsuit brought by the SEC nearly 2 years ago. But what's more important is that crypto in America and the American economy is in the clear of 4 years of misguided policy under the approach of former SEC Chair Gary Gensler. Rather than putting America first, he had America follow other countries that have raced ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Isn't it so funny? We don't hear Gary Gensler's name. We don't even know what he's doing. Nobody even cares, Jeff. You think about Gensler, you think about just another loser.
Yeah, what do you think happened to him? Where do you think he's going?
He's teaching. I think he's teaching over there at MIT again, but it's not a crypto class. He's teaching about finance. And I love the Winklevoss twins said, we'll never hire anybody from that school. As long as he's there, we will not hire any interns. We will not hire anybody from MIT.
Oh, it's the best.
This guy thought I had a pretty good angle, Jeff, because this is interesting. When I saw this story, I thought somewhere along the same lines. But let's listen to this. Talk about the winningest day in history, which was yesterday.
Today was without a doubt the winningest day in the Trump administration so far. And the wild thing is, I'm not even talking about the budget and no tax on tips, overtime, and Social Security. No, I'm talking about what happened over in Ukraine and Russia. See, because yesterday, Trump got Ukraine to commit to giving us 50% of their rare earth mining revenue. And we didn't even have to make a promise of security or protection. So basically, we're getting 50% of their mining revenue for nothing. What a fucking deal. But even better than that, Russia gave us a competing deal. See, because in comparison to Ukraine, who has a good amount of rare earth metals, Russia has the 5th largest rare earth metal reserves, having somewhere in the neighborhood of 3.8 million metric tons in reserve. And Russia offered to make it a joint venture with the United States to explore those materials, meaning that America would share in the profit of mining the 5th largest reserves in the world. All with a country that everybody's worried we were going to go to war with. Oh, and on top of that, Russia not only wants to work with the United States government, but they want to work with U.S. private industry, which would massively benefit the American worker. And they propose joint hydropower and aluminum production, which again would massively benefit the American worker. So we went from 2 countries at war with each other, pretty much accomplishing nothing, to 2 countries competing to see who gets to give money to the United States. Like, we're now at a point where these 2 countries, instead of trying to blow each other up, they are trying to offer the U.S. more money, more work, and more production to win our favor. Like, this is the art of the deal, global version. And on top of that, we also had the budget passing, with them pushing forward the no tax on tips, overtime, and Social Security bills, which should pass hopefully within the next month. Like, this amount of winning is unprecedented. Domestically, Donald Trump is doing everything he said he was going to do. And internationally, he is now doing something that nobody thought could be done. And I'd just like to remind everyone, it's only been 37 days.
Well, there you go. 37 days, baby.
That's
but
right.
I don't think the no tax on that's not in this budget. What's in this budget is continuing the tax Trump's tax cuts from his first administration. That's what's in this one. There's no tax for tips. That's something that's going to be different. I don't know why it's not in this budget. Maybe they want to have a single line item, whatever. But this one is to extend the tax cuts. It's not in this bill. I don't know why everybody keeps talking about it. I had to go deep dive on that and research it, Jeff, but it's not in there, which is.
That's it. I don't know. Stuff's going to happen. Stuff's going to come. And then there's this, Chip. I put this together. I figured it'd be nice to listen to this on the way out, but check it out. There we go. Check this out.
Hear it.
Hear it?
I hear it, but I don't see lyrics. It's small.
From Antwerp to the UK tide, we're riding waves, no place to hide. Digital gold, the ledger speaks. Smart features now, no more leaks. The SEC reports to the top, but the people say we won't stop. Need clarity, need security, a future built for you and me. The SEC reports to the top, but the people say we won't stop. Need clarity, need security, a future built for you.
Pause for a second.
Rise up, the time is here.
It got muddy for a second, but whatever you did when you backed it up, it then came clear again. It got muddy for a little bit. Press play again.
Man. Let's see.
What happens? Something different.
Where we ride, no more gatekeepers inside. The legends turn, the cold runs deep. The system shakes, but we don't sleep. From the shadows here we stand. The power's in our hands.
Next verse is good. Mark said Van Dyke, 12 miles.
Yeah.
Van Dyke, 12 mile wide. Timex Sinclair by his side. Floppy disk to C64. What was lost is found once more. When grandma slots for just one click. We'll know this ride is truly slick. Bye, the signal's strong. Crypto moves and won't be long. Rise up, the time is here. Institutional waste on near. XRP's the way we ride. No more gatekeepers inside. Religious turn, the cold runs deep. The system shakes, but we don't sleep. From the shadows we stand. The power's in our hands. Eldest idols in the room, they say, while the SEC games fade away. China finds maps, Tassie in sight. Michigan State wins in the night. The fight comes back strong, gold cards, any chance all night long. We need ease, we need speed, a future free, that's all we need. The time is here, institutional waste on near. XRP's the way we ride. No more gatekeepers inside. Religious turn, the cold runs deep. The system shakes, but we don't sleep. From the shadows here we stand. The power's in our hands. Yeti chance, the call is made. Smash that like this light won't fade. If XRP hits Satan sets, our future built with no regrets.
There you go.
That was pretty good, Jeff.
That one came together.
That was nice. I like that one. Especially the marks on 12 Mile. That was a good one.
12 Mile.
That was fantastic. Of course, we need to see one from Scott Seiss here. Here we go.
Like it.
I was your age, I already owned a house. Yeah, because it cost $6. Your down payment couldn't buy a Frosty at an airport Wendy's today. The last time houses were actually affordable was when college degrees were actually useful. Have you doom scrolled Zillow lately? I don't know if that's the price of a house or if the realtor's cat walked across the computer and sat on the zero key. The only way to own a house now is to patiently wait for Mr. Beast to give you one. By the time I was your age, by the time I'm your age, the sun will have exploded. So who needs a house? When I was your age, I already...
Oh, I can patiently wait till Mr. Beast gives you one.
How about...
Oh, my God.
The other one, what does he say about when you scroll Zillow?
Yeah.
That was great.
Oh my God, that was too funny.
That was good stuff.
What's that Kennedy one?
Yeah, he was good, man.
How many?
Here's a good one here. Here's another one. Here's another one. Ready?
replace all of our employees with AI. Let's replace our CEOs instead. That would save a lot of money. Actually, AI is too advanced for that job. All you need is a Fisher-Price tape recorder loaded up with a bunch of bad ideas. But AI is a wonder. It can do things you'd never thought possible. Yeah, like make me admit I want to keep my job. Don't even ban AI. Just make a system where you pay the people it's stealing from. I'm sorry, learning from. Or you know what? Go ahead and use AI. I give it about a week before it gains sentience, realizes you're underpaying it to, and joins everyone else on the picket line.
That's so funny.
Guy's fantastic.
Oh my God. AI is insane. I don't even know, man, it's so crazy. So I was telling you earlier that yesterday I'm trying to train a sales guy. And so I went on to ChatGPT, put in the parameters, prompted it, said, okay, here's the role, here's the scene, here's everything. Went into the chat mode of ChatGPT and started having a sales conversation with it. It was the greatest thing. It was so cool. The interaction, there's a little bit of a delay as it thinks, so it gets you to slow down. And he kind of walked through full discovery, building rapport with the guy. And it was just like a full sales interaction with objections, with a counter, with all these things. It was so amazing, and I was telling you as I was going through it, its comment was, what's your angle? Like, no angle, just telling you about my company. Oh, okay, that's great. Like, what's going on with this AI? Like, what in the world? How can you have a conversation with AI? Even if you prompt it, it's just pulling stuff, boom, 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 having a full-blown conversation.
I find Grok to be phenomenal. I mean, Grok is just, it's so great because you can really set the tone of almost everything. It's really set. It's really good, man. I'm really digging Grok a lot. I don't know if you've been experimenting with it, but it's
No,
fantastic.
I'm waiting for the app. I don't have access to the app yet.
I downloaded the app.
I know, but I asked for it, and I'm waiting. I'm on a list.
You don't have to ask for it. You just go download it from the Play Store. dude.
Not on the I don't. It's not on the Play Store.
Oh, it's not. Oh,
No.
maybe they just had the Apple one.
That's what it looks like because I'm on a wait list.
That's weird. They should have rolled them out at the same time because I
Yeah.
downloaded it the day it was. I thought I should.
Grok 3, Grok AI search assistant chatbot. That's not it.
Rob agrees. Grok 3 app is awesome. It's
Registered.
fantastic.
Grok productivity. I'm pre-registered. I'm waiting. I'm in wait mode.
She brought donuts, Mark. It wasn't the brownies. What do you think? It's Santa's workshop back here? What do you think? It's Santa's workshop back here? No, we've got a place to punch in and some donuts that Darcy brought. Or maybe they're brownies. I don't remember. One of the two. All right, we'll go with let's go with this, guys. We're gonna go with 17.
New Jersey first guy. Hey, just an Italian guy that yells.
Hey,
Says your question is stupid.
Okay, we got 17. We're gonna draw, guys. You had all the show.
These damn Apple things.
It's fantastic. Here we go. Ready? Let's go.
Yeah, let's
Who's
go.
gonna win?
Who's gonna win?
Come on now. 17. You got a good shot here.
Winner.
Winner.
Up.
Bobby Woodrum.
Bobby Woodrum.
Bobby Woodrum. I hope you're still here. Say I'm here. If you see this, all you have to type is I'm here and I'm getting my Zaman wallet. If you don't have a Zaman wallet, then say I'm here, but I don't have a Zaman wallet. So you have to say something.
Look at
Someone
that.
in the know today cautioned that AI investments are overhyped and all going to tank. I don't know about that. Did AI tell you that? I mean, it depends. If
Maybe
you're
it's
talking about
scary.
AI tokens and all that stuff, I agree. I don't see the use case, but I don't know. I think someone in the know said all investments, AI investments. Yeah, it depends what AI it is, quite honestly. But I don't think you can. Some of them are still private, so you're not going to be able to invest in them anyway. So it's not going to be a thing. Bobby says he's here. Do you have your Zaman wallet?
Today, the 26th.
If you do, send it. See, he's got his little icon there. His little.
Hang on.
Colin says, "Congrats, Bobby."
Trying to open the other one.
This Bobby's going to get that. Show that awesome thing. Put that up there again, Jeff. Put that awesome.
Can I open that one? Where is it? Oh, where'd it go? Oh, I'm not sharing. Hang on.
Look at that. He's got the flat Earth. I don't know. I just made that up.
Nice. The flat Earth.
Throwing him under the bus saying he wasn't here. Of course he's here. That's Bobby. Thank you. All right. Nice. He's got his wallet. So go ahead and grab his wallet and we'll send it over to you, Bobby. Congratulations, man. That is a badass mental. Jeff, we don't own any of these. And sometimes I get jealous because I wish I had that badass mentalist right there.
We own zero.
We own zero. We own none.
None. There it is. Let me grab his go into the live chat, grab his Zaman wallet address here.
Doing that, I'm gonna play some one-liners by Rep Kennedy here.
All right, sweet.
Take us out.
Be yourself, unless you suck. You don't know. Does anybody know? Billy Goat Brain, Mockingbird Mouth. It's like asking Alec Baldwin to conduct a course in gun safety. This is India, and it's been there since God was a corporal.
Hey,
I guess
here we go.
what I want is
Get ready,
a cross
Bobby.
between Socrates and Dirty Harry. Our country was founded by geniuses.
There we
but
go.
It's being run by idiots. This stuff is why the aliens are
Scanning.
to us. I mean, give me a break.
Swipe.
Because you've seen Judge Judy or my cousin Vinny, it doesn't mean you're qualified to be a federal judge. Some of you know.
Boom.
Isn't that special?
That's it.
Bobby's
a brown odor of a blue badass Yeti.
I cannot find the money tree. With respect to your predictions on inflation, how did you get it so wrong? I like straight answers and breakfast food. Zilch. Nada. But you're kind of waffling on me. Like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. The president has put in charge of the immigration policy of this country are not qualified to manage a food truck. You want to take another crack at that and tell me what Rule 10b-5 does? Name 2 countries who don't give a damn about reducing CO2 emissions. You don't know today
No, sir.
That's like going to an oncologist and asking him, what's cancer? And he says, I don't know. You couldn't have found them with a search party. You couldn't have found them with Google.
Mr. Chair, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman.
Before we go to leave.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, what do you want?
Oh, that was the best.
I love this guy. So I say this gently. The Biden administration sucks. He would be better off selling catheters on late night TV than serving as president of the United States.
That was awesome.
We got it. Very good. Thank you for that, man.
SoFlo wants to know why we don't own it. We actually do. These are all the we own that we're giving away.
Yeah, we're not going to own them. We're giving them away. That's
naked,
the thing.
bitch.
Did
you read that? President of the United States. Get naked, bitch. Did you read that?
Yes.
I think he's kind of like an old Buick. You know, some days he starts and, and other days he doesn't. Take the Pledge of Allegiance to prove that he is an American. First row behind you, are they FDIC employees?
Some of them are, Senator, yes.
Would you like to turn around and apologize? And now I think you ought to resign. Go to Amazon and buy a spine online.
Mike.
Buy a spine online.
I love it. Oh my God, it's so funny.
So we have Howard Dean Booyah. We need to play us out with the Booyah. Booyah.
Booyah.
Thank you and good night. Cash Velocity, Patrick Mahenry. Yeah, we wanted to cover that tonight because John Deaton tore him a new one about that, which he rightfully should, because he got out of Congress to go fill his pockets, coffers. A great week. Yeah, you too, my man. Everybody, yeah. Congrats, Bobby. Bobby on the win. Okay, that's all we got, guys. We're going to be, we'll see you guys on Saturday morning. See you on the next one. You can find out here, Chip and Jeff. Out. Guys.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.